I missed by 1%.
Well, what did you learn? Obviously nothing. Well, obviously about 59% of what you needed to know.
It was 68% of what I needed to know.
Oh, close.
Right? Yeah.
Anywho, well, welcome to the Bite Me podcast. My name is Adam.
I'm Cliff.
I'm Dylan today.
Are you sure about
Who
that?
are you
had
normally?
to think about that.
The world will never know.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be like Adam West because I found out Adam's real name.
Oh, God.
I won't reveal it.
No, I feel like it.
I can't remember what your name really is.
This is the worst episode of our podcast yet. Adam, what have you been playing, for the love of God?
What do you think I've been playing?
1, 2, switch.
By himself.
Right? Because what's Kevin doing? He's playing Final Fantasy or WoW.
Shouldn't you be playing
or
Final
Overwatch?
Shouldn't you be playing Final Fantasy with Kevin?
I should be, because he bought me 4 months worth of game time.
And shouldn't you not be playing WoW?
That's what sucks about subscription-based games. If you're not playing it, you're just losing
know,
money.
you're wasting
literally
money.
throwing money in the garbage.
And up until the point of him buying those cards for me, I was like, okay, I'll just kind of play because I got 30 days free.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I bought you 4 months of game time. And I'm like, well, crap, guess I got to play now.
That's a commitment.
I'm like, yeah, now I don't want to waste that money.
That's a lot of commitment. Like, I've never done anything for 4 months.
You've
Other
worked
than
here
worked
for
here for
like
six.
Well,
We've
there
actually,
you go.
You know,
Other
actually,
than jobs.
I
Other
will
than
say-
jobs. Like, that's a lot to keep
And
up
school.
with.
in a
And
very
school.
in a very strangely appropriate way, today is actually the 4-month anniversary of this podcast.
Is it really?
Happy 4-month anniversary.
Because
Whoa.
today's close-ish. It's the 14th, and our first podcast was November 17th. So,
Really?
Yeah. By the time this airs, this will actually be essentially the 4-month anniversary.
Oh,
so
that's
you've
fun.
done this for 4 months.
4-month anniversary.
There you go.
Look at that.
Nice. I've literally been playing Legend of Zelda.
Yeah,
That's what I've been playing.
It's real good. It's real good.
It's really good. And the world is huge, and it's a time suck, and I really thought I would have opened up more shrines by now, but there's so, like, for as many as there's supposed to be in the game, I'm finding them very, very far and wide, like spread across.
Interesting. What do you know? What percentage of the game you're done with?
I have no idea. I don't even think I've got half of the areas completely
Interesting.
unlocked, mapped out yet.
So I was reading this morning that depending on how you play the game, you can actually finish it with a very low percentage done, because
Oh, yeah.
all of the and I have not played far enough to actually get one of these. There's some sort of little seeds you have to collect, and apparently,
Korok seeds.
yeah, there's like 900 of them in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and getting one of those is like the same percentage done as like finding one of those is the same as beating a dungeon or a shrine or whatever. So
yeah, I
you can
believe
beat
it.
the game at like 10% done or 15% done,
Oh,
and still have a ton of collectibles. to find.
theoretically, once you get through the opening sequence of up on the Great Plateau, which is your starting area, once you get through that initial thing, you can go right from there to Ganon.
Really
Yeah, and just do that. It's very, very difficult,
interesting.
but you can. Like, that's how open world the game is. You can skip everything and go right from where you start to the end.
Yeah, I've heard speedruns of that game are down to like
Under an hour.
45 minutes,
Is it
or
okay.
55 minutes. Yeah, it's fast. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like I tried beating one of those giant rock monsters without the proper equipment right off
Didn't
the
go
bat,
well.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know how to do this, and I can't imagine going up against the final boss of the game
That's crazy.
with a stick.
That breaks after you hit him twice.
Yeah, they're like, oh, need another stick. So, but yeah, that's literally what I've
What
been
you've
playing,
been playing.
aside from our Rocket League date night.
We had a Rocket League date night.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was super fun. Yeah, Dylan has a question. He's raising his hand,
Can
which
I ask
doesn't.
a question on Zelda first before we move past
Please.
Oh yeah,
Zelda?
no.
How big is the map actually? Because we saw like the diagrams
Real
before the
big.
game. Like,
It's
how does
massive.
it compare to like other open world games you've played? Because I was just curious.
Have
'cause
you
that
seen-
seemed huge. Like,
Have you seen the visual comparison, like with the squares?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We saw the
Compared to
diagram
Skyrim?
before, but I'm just saying, how does that actually feel when you're playing the game? Like,
It's huge.
It is
It's huge.
huge.
There's like, so there's a point where you can jump off of the cliff at this shrine and fly with your paraglider to this island, which the island itself is its own trial/shrine, basically. And I ran out of stamina, not even halfway through the flight to the island, fell and drowned. Then I went and I upgraded my stamina cells by twice. Was that like stem cells?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I think it's a different thing entirely.
But it's the stamina meter. I filled it up with 2 extra cells, and I still didn't have enough to make it all the way across. So halfway through the flight, I had to eat food that refilled my stamina, and then I barely made it across that. And you can see the island from the cliff that you jump off
Yeah.
of, and you can see it on the map. and it doesn't look. It's pretty well done when they scale out the distances between.
I think that's
places.
the thing that I found most interesting about it. How often I will like pull up your little like looking glass thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like, oh, I just want to look over there, and then I go to the map and realize that that's actually a huge amount of distance. Like the draw distance on this game is very interesting, very impressive. I looked it up, and according to some guy, to walk north to south, if you just start walking, is about a little under a half hour, and to walk west to east is a little over a half hour in like real time.
Really?
And what's crazy to me is how fast you move across that map, and that's without sprinting. That's just walking.
Yeah.
So it's a big map. It's a real big map.
It's huge.
I was just wondering kind of how it compared to, because I didn't play enough of it when I was just sitting here to really grasp the size of it. But it looked huge. I'm wondering, how does that compare to like playing these other large open worlds that I'm familiar with, whether that's Skyrim or...
It's definitely bigger than Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah,
and it
it's a
feels
lot.
that
Skyrim's
way.
so dense too, though. Like,
Yeah, with this, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do, obviously, but the enemy, like, there's a lot of little secrets and things like that. When it comes to actual battles with enemies and stuff, I don't know how random those are generated. I know that some stuff is there. It's specifically meant to be right where they are. So, but I don't know if they have any randomly like generated stuff popping up outside of the skeletons that come up at night.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But the thing that I'm loving is that now that I've unlocked a shrine way over here in the east, and then another shrine way over here in the west, and this village here, and blah, blah, blah. I can bounce. Now it's getting easier to bounce back and forth, whereas before I was spending, 15, 20 minutes. Well, where am I going? Yeah. And especially if you haven't gotten to the top of a tower to unlock that area, because it's kind of like, I want to say it's Assassin's Creed that kind of did that, where you would go up to the top of a tower, view it, and then you could see everything.
Yeah,
it was Assassin's Creed, and then every other Ubisoft game made after it. Assassin's
Oh, really?
Creed.
Yeah. Go up to
Far Cry works that way.
Go up to the tower and see. I'm like, that's an annoying mechanic, but
right. Well, this is cool because
and
all
I think
these
Zelda's
towers
done it pretty well, though.
Yeah, because they once the towers pop up everywhere, you can literally see them from wherever you're at if you go into your little...
Yeah, and I think that is actually really what makes the difference, though, is that any Ubisoft game, you go to the top of the tower and it just unlocks your map, whereas Zelda, it's really more like, go to the top of the tower and see what you can actually see through your eyes and through your... What's that thing called?
It's
your little telescope. That's what we're calling it.
Thing.
It's a telescope.
Yeah.
Ye old telescope.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
I would go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's super fun. I love it.
It is good. Yeah. That's one of the ones I've been playing too. I haven't put a ton of time. I'm still on the plateau. So.
All right.
Yeah.
The only issue I do have with the game, now that I've spent time with it, is the frame rate issue. When you're playing it in docked mode and it upscales it to 900p. Like, that's the only issue I've noticed.
Yeah, I haven't played it much that way, honestly.
Yeah, you get some weird frame rate issues, and it's a lot more frequent than it should be.
Sure.
But that's really my only complaint with the game.
It looks great, too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and it's fun.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, I played lots of stuff.
I know.
And
you went to college, and you kept the family going, and you kept our digital department going, and all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I have played Zelda, but not a ton. I've played maybe another hour since last week. Same with Horizon Zero Dawn. I've played some more of that, maybe probably 2 hours on that. I'm really liking that game.
I'm gonna get it.
It's just so pretty.
Yeah.
And the mechanics are so good. And then like I just unlocked the ability to do all these like cool slow mo moves. So like
nice.
I can run and slide on my knees, and the entire game goes into slow mo. So you can do these. You can do the things you see in the trailer where you slide up to a dinosaur and it goes slow mo, and you pull back your bow, and shoot them, and you jump down from things, and it's really cool as you get more abilities. So that's been fun. I finished up Layers of Fear, which is free this entire month. So if you don't have it now, you can get it through the end of March. It's an Xbox game with games with gold game. It's a lot of game in that sense. Really enjoyed it. It took me maybe 3.5 hours to beat, so it's definitely one you could beat in an afternoon or an evening if you wanted. It was, if you are like me and you like things that are kind of scary but not super duper scary, like if you look at Resident Evil, go like, no, I don't even want to think about playing that. But you're like, I like to be, a little frightened. Layers of Fear is the perfect game. There's really very little in the way of like jump scares. It's more just atmospheric. Apparently there's 3 endings. I got the neutral ending, which I guess is okay.
How did you feel about the ending?
I actually really liked the ending. Okay. Honestly, it was kind of, I was surprised that there was a good ending. Who has a horror game that ends
On an up
well.
note?
Yeah, on an upbeat. So yeah, this I did not get the worst of the endings.
So was it an ending based on how much you unlocked in the game, or how much you found in the game, or was it based on the decisions you made?
Apparently, yes. It's
Okay.
based on how many of these different. The funny thing is, I felt like I was very thorough, and apparently, I did not find everything. But it's based on how many different like kind of paper things, with notes you find, and based on how many pictures you find, and based on how you interact with kind of the dead people in your house and interact with objects is how it bases the end of the game. And it was plenty good to play through once. It's probably not something I would play through another 2 times to get other endings. But overall, I was really happy with it. It was just scary enough. It was a great way to spend. I think I did it over 6 days. So I did like 6 half-hour sessions, and that was perfect. I really, really liked it. And for it's normally $20. I don't know if I'd pay $20 for it, but I'd pay 10 or 15 for it on sale. And if you can get it for free, you may as well get it for free.
Yeah, if you can do it.
And I think right now they're actually, or either they have or they're going to very soon release like the Google Daydream version, like so the VR
really?
with the phone, and it could be
wow.
a fun VR game too. So
Cool.
Played that. I played Lego Worlds, which was just released this week. It's kind of a open worldy Lego game, which sounds strange, and it kind of is. It's been in early access for probably a year or 2. I bought it like 2 years ago because I thought like, oh, that will be a fun game eventually. And it was like $15 if I bought it then versus if you buy it now where it's like 30 or 40. It on my PC, which is a nice PC, runs real bad. The draw distance is like, I don't know, me to Adam, which is about 4 feet away.
No.
It's absolutely beautiful, but it's only very beautiful like in your immediate vicinity. I can't get it to run full screen on my computer. If I try and run it like full screen, it crashes every single time. So I have to run it like windowed, which is real janky.
Yeah, the windowed full screen stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how that.
Yeah, and it just like it's one of those games that I'm like, oh, my kid really wanted to play it, and I'm like, we got about an hour and a half, and by the time I actually got it running, we only had like maybe 50 minutes to actually play it. That's how kind of, and it's weird because it's a Telltale thing. You'd think that it would use the same tech essentially as any of the other millions of Lego games out there, but it's kind of repetitive, and like I've only
is it
played
different than other Lego games?
Yeah, real different. Like you start out, you kind of like skydive into this Lego world, which is really like literally you see the Lego world rushing up at you, and you land, and you have a spaceship that's broken, and you have to do all these like kind of weird. Like I've played about an hour, and it still feels like I'm in the tutorial where they're trying to like show me how to do stuff, but it's way too long of a tutorial. There's way too many different things you can do. I don't know. I'm going to kind of withhold judgment until I can play it for another maybe hour or so, but so far I'm real bored and not impressed. So we'll see. I also played Lego Dimensions because we're giving a copy away of it.
Yes, and by
the time this airs, if you have not entered, I'm sorry, you missed it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have entered though, and you're listening to this, make sure you check our social media stuff.
Yeah, we'll announce winners on Facebook and our website and Twitter and all that stuff. So,
and we'll probably, I'm assuming we're going to message the winner directly.
Oh yeah, we'll message them. They'll know. Yeah. But I bought this for my kid actually about I think not this Christmas, but the Christmas before. And he'd played it a bunch, but I had never really sat down and tried it, and it was super fun. Like, and it plays exactly like all the other Lego games you've ever played.
Okay.
Except that it's like, I don't know, almost schizophrenic in where you're playing. Because normally you play Lego Indiana Jones, and the entire thing is set in Indiana Jones, and you essentially play through the movies, or you play Star Wars and you play through the movies. This was, you start out with 15 minutes of cutscenes where they're kind of setting up the story, and then you play through 20 minutes of The Wizard of Oz, or a half hour of The Wizard of Oz. It just takes so you're playing as Batman, Gandalf, and Wild Style from the Lego movies, and they just dump you into The Wizard of Oz, and you have to go defeat the Wicked Witch of the West.
All right.
And then as soon as you beat her, they pull you through another portal, and you're in The Simpsons. So like it's real random, but in kind of a fun way where you're never gonna get bored of this game, and there's so many extra things you can buy for it. I talked to my kid, and he's like, I liked it, but he's such a Minecraft freak that we buy him these things and he plays them for a day or two and then like goes back to Minecraft. So yeah, I think I might play more of it though, because I'm really having fun with it. So
okay,
we'll see. And we all also played 1-2 Switch.
Yeah, that was
It was an experience.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience.
And I did not actually play it. I watched you guys play it, which was absolutely hilarious. So I got to think that
we had a dance off.
They did have a dance off. It was incredible. Absolutely.
If you could see my
incredible.
eyes rolling right now,
Yeah.
it would hurt you.
The
How
good
hard
news
they're
is we
rolling.
have video of them playing it, and at some point in time, that will be posted to our YouTubes as soon as
Cool.
Dylan gets around to editing it. So it's great. I think that it is the perfect party game.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great game to get 8 of your friends and hang out in front of the TV and have some drinks and have some fun. Or, like my kid played it this weekend. He had a sleepover and they came and played. I showed these. I wish I could post this video to the internet, but I can't because one of the kids is not mine. If it was just my kid, I would be showing it right now. But they did
Right.
the
Runway.
runway challenge. So like literally your entire thing is to be like a supermodel, like
You are sashaying down the runway.
and watching 2 9-year-olds just like, I mean,
It's funny.
it's
It's
hilarious.
hilarious.
Hips and arms, and then they come in and do their poses. It's amazing. So and so they played it for probably an hour and a half, and they had a great time, doing the quick draws and so there's
I can imagine that it's a game that's for sure going to be a lot more fun, I think, for the people watching.
exactly
Because unless you're hammered or a child,
yeah,
which is kind of the same thing, I guess,
pretty much
the games are not. It's definitely. I feel like it should have been a pack-in game. Absolutely.
100% or $20.
Or $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid the full price, but that's my.
I just rented it. I was smarter than Adam.
As
But
most people are wont to do.
yeah, no, but I think that's the thing is hopefully that game drops in price eventually down to that $20-$25 price, and because I really do think it could be a fun game to play with some friends, maybe a little bit drunk. If only because there are some of the games that are like you might need to have slightly lowered inhibitions to really get the most of, like the dance off or the catwalk, or there's like a beach running one, or what the gunslinger one. Now anyone can.
No,
do
the
that.
gunslinger one's fun.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Or the samurai one.
I like the
or-
spinny plate one too.
Did you guys ever play the wizard one?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Wizard
Duel.
is really fun. It's like, it's literally like the wizard duel between Harry Potter and Voldemort at the end of, I don't know, the 4th movie. It's real fun. So, and I think that's the reality is that it's kind of a mixed bag of 28 games where there's probably 10 that are really fun and like maybe another 5 or 6 they're like, hey, this could be fun in the right situation, and then like another 10 that are like, these are kind of dumb. So
And that game is really cool because it's opening doors for a lot of different types of players.
yeah, well,
And
do you want to talk about that now, or you want to talk about it later?
No,
Talk
good.
about
I
it
was
later.
just teasing
He's
what's
setting
coming
things
up, setting things up.
This is a cool story. This is
Yeah,
a
it's
really cool story.
Also, I just playing 1-2 Switch. It does show off some of the technology really well.
100%.
Adam and I really enjoyed the marble game. So it's
Uh-huh.
a game where it puts some amount of digital marbles in some digital box, but when you move the Joy-Con, you can feel the marbles rolling in it as if it was a box with marbles in it, and the idea is to count the number of marbles in there, and you can feel them tapping the box and tapping each other. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really well done.
I could sit there and do that.
I really like the
just
safe
for-
crack one.
The safe crack one was cool.
I like that one too.
There's definitely some cool technology that game shows off, and if they found a way to have more mini games that incorporated that might have been a full price title. But
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that tech when it comes to the new Mario Party games. If they have another one come out,
Yep.
I'd like to see how they integrate that into those games because that could add a whole nother level.
Or like, did you guys play WarioWare on the
I never
Wii?
played it, but I always
I've
wanted
heard
to.
that was
It's
real
really
good.
it's interesting because it's mini games, but they're mini games that last like
5-10
seconds more than minutes, and you just like do one after the other. I could see some cool use of that tech, and I mean, I think really what we have to hope with the Switch is that Nintendo, they've kind of said like, hey, we want to be careful about what we put on this and not just allow a bunch of shovelware. And so hopefully, unlike the Wii that had some great titles but also had a lot of garbage titles, like they curate a little more what's good, and then you can hope that there'll be some really high quality stuff that uses these controllers. But I mean, overall, the tech's awesome. The tech's absolutely awesome, and it makes you feel better, I think, about paying $70 for an Elite controller or $80 for more Joy-Cons or something.
Yeah, it's $80 for the Joy-Con and $70 for the Pro controller.
There's a lot
which is
of
fine.
technology in there. So
At least you get 2 controllers with the
I know, right? Technically, you're getting 2 controllers, so it's okay.
really interesting. I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. One last thing I would say about 1-2 Switch 2, I think a real bad decision they made was how often you have to swap, like how often you have to put the little extra bits. I don't know what those are called, the thumb paddy little things that slap onto the joypad. But then, like, when you guys didn't play the baby one, but the baby one, literally, you have to snap them back on the Switch and hold the entire Switch. So if you're docked, you have to undock it, put them on, and then use it. I'm like, that's just dumb. And there's also a couple kind of one-player games in there, too, which is kind of strange.
So it's weird if you're putting it in shuffle mode that, like, I want to be able to, like, if I'm going to play Adam, I want to put it on shuffle mode and it just have games that we're each using one.
Yeah. And then, sorry, Adam, you can't play with me. Man.
Yeah. So
but it's not even that. But I mean, there's one where you, like, shake a bottle of champagne and it's kind of hot potato, like the when the champagne bursts.
No one wins.
There's no winner. It's like there's only a loser.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even make you feel like a loser.
Yeah. So there's just some strange decisions. But, we've probably talked about 1-2 Switch enough, to be honest.
Probably more than it deserves.
Yeah.
So.
Yay, Rocket League.
Yeah. So this week, we've been trying to get together to play Rocket League for... I don't know.
At least 3 days.
No, it's before Christmas, I would say.
just 3 days, 72 hours.
At least 3 days.
At least. I think probably before Christmas, because I think you bought it in part of like the Thanksgiving sale.
Because
I mean, I know.
Well, I bought it on the Black Friday sale.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I bought it before my kid even actually knew he owned a PlayStation. So So we've been trying to get together for a solid 2 or 3 months now, and on Saturday night, we actually got together and played for. I don't know, two and a half hours. Probably between the three of us, we played for about 3 hours.
Yeah,
Dylan and I were early.
A little
Adam
late.
came late. I left early.
Yeah,
but it was super fun.
And we're awesome.
Yeah, we're not bad.
We need to fix your headset though, because the Facebook call thing, like, don't get me wrong, it was fine. It worked fine. But I had my Sony headset ready to go, and I had the chat mix and everything ready to go.
I'm just gonna have to get a fancy headset.
Yeah, Dylan.
I wasn't really prepared.
I'm like,
I've never gamed with anyone on a PlayStation before.
It's fun.
I tried to conference him in. I don't know what the right terminology for
invite to a chat party.
Yeah, and he just remember when you were real young, probably more Adam and I, if you had like an old walkie-talkie, like you could talk on him, but then they had that like squeal sound that you could send. Yeah, that's all he sounded like. I'm like, well, this isn't going to work at all. But we had a great time. We won probably more than we lost. It was really.
Oh yeah, ask for more.
You, Dylan, you're quite the goal master.
So,
whatever.
You said you got 5 goals in the last game.
5 in the last game.
Because
we were like, "What's the score?" I look at, holy crap, we're winning. We got like 5 points. He's like, yeah, I think I got them all. And I'm like, yeah, you got them all. He's like, yeah, I got them all.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. We should at some point in the future maybe even like think about. I'm not going to say a tournament, but it would be fun to like open up to a bunch, because I know we've got a couple people that listen that really like Rocket League too. We could do a private server and
that'd be fun.
And play with even just 8 people. Do 4v4 or something for a couple hours. It'd be a good time.
I can't imagine 4v4. 3v3
it's so crazy.
Is crazy enough.
Yeah, 4v4 they call it chaos mode, and that is 100% what it is.
I believe it.
Yeah, I played 4v4 for probably the first 20 hours I played, because I figured that way if I screwed up there'd be like more
really
to
hard
spread
to tell
it over.
Who really screwed it up.
And then I'm like, this is just crazy. So, but it'd be a good time. We'll have to think about figuring that out.
Now, do you think like if you played like 4v4 Rocket League and had like your own house rule where you had to have a full-time goalie, so that someone had to stay kind of in the goalie box, like would that function as a game?
Yeah, probably. Although I hate playing against teams that have a full-time goalie, so I think it would actually it would probably work better, but I think it would actually make the game less fun
within the 4v4.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just funny that there's like a meta within Rocket League where one person stays in the goal.
Right.
And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the funny thing about goalies, though, and as you like progress through, like from not having played to playing, like say level 40 or 50, is that when you first start out, no one plays goalie because no one wants to, no one knows how to, and then you hit about level 20, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, the only way to win is to play with a goalie. And you'll play with everyone. Every team will have a person who wants to play dedicated goalie through like level 25 or 30, and then everyone's like, oh, having a goalie's dumb, and you'll never play with the team that plays the goalie again. So
nice.
It's strange. Last game, I've played one more game.
I can't believe you
I've only played this one for a half hour. I started this morning. It's Firewatch, which was like,
I thought you'd already played this.
I have not. It was super high on my list of games from 2016 that I wanted to play in 2017. I've played a half hour of it. It is, first of all, it starts out just like Ori and just like The Last of Us. It starts out real sad. real sad. And it actually starts out kind of interesting. It's almost like a kind of a choose your own adventure kind of thing, where it'll kind of say, hey, this scenario happened, choose your outcome, choose one of two options for that. And I don't know how different it makes the game, but it's real sad. But it's also just stunning. Like, the graphics in that game are just off the hook. You're walking through this forest because you literally are a guy watching four fires in the forest. And I'm just like, I screenshot because it's beautiful. Right. So I'm very excited about doing that. I told Dylan I meant to record it this morning and I screwed it up. So I'll probably play the first half hour again, and I'll put all my playthroughs of that up on our YouTube page too. So
nice. And how long is this one? Do we know?
I don't think so. I think it's like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
I've one of those good narrative
always wanted
adventures.
to try it.
Oh, you own it, right?
No.
Oh,
I own The Witness, which I know graphic, like art style wise,
similar.
It's similar.
Yeah. The Witness is real fun. You've played The Witness, though, right?
I played The Witness.
So hard. It's really fun, but God, it's hard.
Yeah, and The Witness, like I said before, it wasn't the game I was expecting.
You bounced off it. Yeah.
And I'll still play it once in a while if I really want to frustrate the crap out of myself and bang my head into a wall.
It's hard. I think The Witness is actually probably a game that would be really good played with multiple people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the puzzles are
with a guide in front of you.
Yeah. Well, but a guide would I don't know if there's any way they could give you a guide for that you wouldn't just feel like you were cheating your way through the entire game.
Well, yeah. I've not looked up any answers to any puzzles in that game at all.
Yeah, and I guess maybe if you're just doing them one-offs, but like playing with a guide would be dumb. But like playing like I cannot solve this puzzle, that's totally legit.
Totally.
But I think it'd be fun to play with like 2 or 3 people that could like, oh no, try this. Oh no, try this. And I think the puzzles would be less frustrating.
Right.
But
for sure,
I think we're going to actually give a copy of The Witness away this week.
Yes,
we'll do it. It'll be on Twitter. Watch for it on Twitter.
Is that where we're going to do it?
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay.
So we'll give a copy of The Witness away. It's like, take what we have just said about it. It's really fun. It was like multiple Game of the Year nominees last year. Yeah. Jonathan Blow, the same guy who made Braid. If you liked Braid, you'll like The Witness. It's just hard. So, shit, what were you saying?
The Witness, it's blah, 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 using a game guide, on and on and on.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just go to Dylan now.
Dylan,
what have you been
games?
Playing?
Well, aside from our Rocket League party, I played some more Overwatch with some buddies, which got me thinking more about like Overwatch in general and the story of Overwatch, which I think we're going to kind of talk about a little bit later too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't spend too much time on it. We know how great Overwatch is.
I don't. I've never played it.
This week, Adam is going to buy Overwatch and play it with me.
I don't have.
Did that work?
I could just bring in a
probably.
computer. You've got a computer. You can just play my copy of it and you can try it out, see if you like it.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm sure I'm going to like this game.
You just don't need another game in your life. Yeah. Have you read the comics yet?
No, but I'm kind of excited to, and I think that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later, right?
A little bit, yeah. I want to. I really, really, really want to. But,
and then I've been playing more League of Legends.
I was like, what is LOL? What a game is that?
It's a joke, Adam.
Oh, gotcha.
After our esports discussion last week, I've been like fired up to just play competitive games. So me and my buddy we're gonna duo together and try to like conquer ranked League of Legends play. We're gonna see how it works.
I did the same thing with Rocket League. I started playing ranked Rocket League this week.
Yeah. We're already a long way through the season, so our goal's not gonna be super high, but hopefully we can get to gold or something. He was like in platinum the last season, so he's much better than I.
Yeah, yes, usually bronze, gold, platinum.
Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and then you're like
A-list. There's a
lot
lot of rank, but there's only like 16 levels.
Only
for no.
Oh no, this is LoL. I was thinking Hearthstone.
Okay.
Yeah, in Hearthstone, it's a little different, but it's a similar structure.
Sure. That's real cool.
But and I think once you get so high, you're literally like a numbered player in a list.
Wow.
Of those games.
So not being very League of Legends smart, when you're playing with one other player, is that a complete team or are you still pulling in a random?
So it's 5v5.
Oh, so pulling
unless
in
you
randoms.
play the 3v3 mode, but that won't be for ranked play. But in ranked play, you can only solo or duo.
Oh, really?
So you can't bring a full 5 team in and play versus...
Why?
5 scrubs that are all getting matched together, because that would be unfair, right? If your 5 plays against 5 one-offs together,
I guess. Same thing in Rocket
mobbed.
League, though.
Yeah.
Rocket League, you can play you can play 3v3 versus a team of 3.
it would be so
interesting.
unfair.
I would have no idea. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So when you do, so you're saying it's only single player for competitive?
Single or duo.
Single, okay.
So you can bring a buddy.
So you could, in theory, be 2 teams of 2 plus an extra.
Plus a 1, yeah. And that's in solo and duo queue.
And how long does a league? How long does a League of Legends match last?
I would average 45 minutes.
That's a long time to keep
short games,
10 random people together.
Short games, if you steamroll, you could win in 20 or 30. Long games will go an hour and 15.
I'll just hang out in my Rocket League where a long game goes 7 minutes, maybe 8.
We just need to sit down and like play a game,
I guess,
and then you guys can.
Because I still have no idea how these games work.
Yeah.
I just know there's a lot of clicking.
And it would become very apparent why it would be like having a team advantage. You would just
that's really interesting. I had no idea.
But it's a lot of fun. But man, I've never been a keyboard and mouse person, so the struggle of me being good at these games is tough. But
you need a mechanical keyboard now. You have a mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, I have the gear. I have the gear. I don't have the fingers. I'm getting a lot better though.
Yeah, playing Final Fantasy on that with all the moving and the strafing and the 1 2 3 4 5 and the control 1 2 3 4 5 and all this crap.
Crazy.
I'm randomly firing off the one thing that takes like 5 minutes to recharge in the middle of a battle that I could use it in. Wrong.
I tell you,
it's
going
terrible.
from playing Rocket League on the Xbox to playing Rocket League on the PS4 was so strange. It probably took me the first hour to because the buttons in theory are the exact same. Like, you know how I said, like, I don't even think the buttons are at the same place. They are. It's just that my muscle memory for where that button should be is about, I don't know, a half inch to the left for all the buttons. It's really weird. You don't think of those controllers as being that different, but they are remarkably different.
See, I think because I don't play as much Rocket League as you on the Xbox, I don't notice anything because I'm just bad either way.
So he's wrong. He's real good.
I will say having a little hotkey or two on my mouse is amazing, though, because like I can map the Alt button to that. So if you Alt and do one of your spells in League, you cast it on yourself, right?
I didn't even think of doing
and
that.
I'm really bad at that kind of stuff especially when you're like in this team fight and you're trying to put a specific spell on yourself versus
someone else.
Especially because one of the characters I like playing has like a resurrection type spell. He casts Chrono Shift, and when you can do it on your team or yourself, and when you die when you cast it on yourself, you have a timer. If you die within that timer, you'll resurrect with 600 health plus however your statistics match up at that point. But if you miss the click on yourself or click on the wrong
you just resurrect someone else.
Or they have full health and you just totally wasted the spell, and that can just be game breaking because that's like your ultimate ability. So
have you seen the mouse that I think Razer makes that's specifically for MOBAs? It has like 24 buttons on the side of it.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. But
like, and I saw that mouse and I'm like, where would you ever use a mouse like that? I don't understand.
I would be.
Well, then I started playing online and I'm like, all those buttons make so much sense. And the whole mapping, the extra, like the Alt or control button or whatever, I never thought about doing that.
Whatever button, or sometimes there's a key that you really don't like. Because there's like the number row above your Q, W, E, R buttons that you're going to use frequently, and some of them are just really unnatural, and my fingers don't like to move that way, so I can put one of them, because there's two on the Death Adder, the Razer Death Adder mouse. There's two buttons, so one's Alt, and then one I can use for one of those buttons that my fingers just don't like to click very well.
The Razer keyboard I have, and I can never remember which one it is. It's like the one you have, but I have an extra row of macro buttons. So if I actually played MMOs or MOBAs, I actually have 5 programmable buttons on the left that I can program multiple things to. So I could hit one button and it would do like 5 key presses.
That would be really nice.
Right? I should really pick up some sort of game that would matter in. I bought it because I'm like, someday this could be handy, and I've had it for over a year now, and it's never been
handy. I like playing casual games.
Yeah. I'm like, whatever. You only needed one button in Firewatch. So
nice.
Anyway, should we talk some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm excited. That will not ever be our news bumper.
I don't know. I might have to do that. I might have to pull that out of the show.
Before we get into news, I think a buddy of mine just texted me, and he's listening to last week's episode, and all he texted was, ha ha ha, Zima. Remember talking about
I
Zima
remember
last
vaguely
episode?
talking about it.
I don't
was
know.
that's that nasty alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
It's
what
not-
were we
it's
going to
real
do? We
good,
were going to do
actually.
something with Zima. And
I don't remember, but I
Yeah.
absolutely adore that that's the thing he pulled
You
out
were
of the
gonna
show.
wait out at a midnight lunch with Zima.
With Zima.
Oh, yeah. Cliff just got so excited
We're
about
out of
Zima.
control in here.
I just tried to point to Dylan. I hit my microphone and swoofed it like 3 feet to the left. Anyway, news. Don't say news again. Mass Effect Andromeda is launching, I believe, next Tuesday. But if you are an EA Access member, either on PC or Xbox, you can start playing this on Thursday, the 16th, and you can play up to 10 hours. If you want to play multiplayer, you can play an unlimited amount of multiplayer for that 10 hours. If you want to play single player, you can actually play, I think, almost an entire campaign. So if you want to check out Mass Effect before you buy it, now is a great time to get that going. This kind of, to me, actually brought up a bigger question, especially for those of us that are kind of multi-consolists, which is a word I just coined myself, or have PCs.
TM.
So Mass Effect is obviously launching PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC, which kind of gives you kind of an interesting conundrum if you own
All
more
three.
than one of those, or all three, like I do. Yeah. You don't, because you don't
No,
have
I've
an
got a
Xbox.
PS4 Pro,
and so
PC.
And so normally this would be an Xbox game for me because I just prefer playing games on the Xbox. I like the controller better. It's just, I'm used to it.
But you've got a PS4 Pro.
And an HDR 4K TV. So in theory, it's going to look a lot better on the PlayStation.
PS4 Pro, yeah.
Um,
But,
I could also play it on my PC where it would look real nice too.
or you could wait until
My Scorpio comes out, in which case I'm sure they will updo it. But do I really want to be playing Mass Effect?
8 months from now.
Yeah, you know.
The game's out now.
The game is out now. So, and I mean, the earliest Scorpio is going to launch is maybe August.
Right.
And probably more like September, October.
I would say get it on the PS4.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And what I need to find out, though, is like the first 3 Mass Effect games were like if you beat the first Mass Effect, you can then import your character into the second Mass Effect and it would be impactful. And then you could import it into the third Mass Effect and it would also be impactful.
Were the Mass Effect games before this only Xbox?
No, they were on the PlayStation 2 and the PC.
Okay, so wouldn't you, in theory, be able to?
They were Xbox exclusives originally.
Originally,
right?
and then they came out later, I think. Yeah. But I don't think you'll be able to import from, say, if I buy this one on the PS4, I will not be able to. Assuming there is an Andromeda 2, I won't be able to import that save into my Scorpio 2 years from now. Yeah. And so it's kind of, like whatever system you buy it on now is probably the system you're going to be locked into, presumably for at least a couple of games in this, assuming you want to move that save forward.
At least another trilogy, I would assume.
I would hope so. I'm sure it's based on how well it does, but
Well, I mean, the hype around it's just
huge,
massive.
I mean,
huge.
these are good games.
Yeah, I've played the first 2 and loved both of them. I've played a lot of the
Never
third one.
played a
It's
single
great.
one.
They're real good. You like Fallout?
For the most part.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I liked Fallout 3.
Probably more actiony.
Yeah, it's more actiony.
I might be into it then because I liked Fallout 3. Fallout 4 is a great game. It's just there is way too much to that game.
That's interesting. Like I like 4 so much more than I like 3.
Oh really?
Yeah, but whatever. Different strokes.
It's a thing.
But so like I literally still do not know. I probably will play the preview on the Xbox just because that's where I have EA access. But I don't know. I want to buy this game. I really want to play it, but I want it to look as good as I can. But then there's this future proofing problem.
And maybe by the time the Scorpio comes out, they'll have at least figured some way to do a cross-platform thing. Because I know that's a thing they're talking about.
Yeah. Or maybe
they will.
Maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe it's going to look. I mean, I'll play it on the Xbox, and if it looks great, because I mean. Even I have an Xbox One S, so it often will give you a little bit of extra something.
Well, you get HDR on the One S, don't you?
Yeah, I get HDR, so hopefully it has HDR built in. The 4K maybe does.
Oh wait,
maybe doesn't matter.
the Xbox One S isn't it 4K and HDR? Or is it just HDR?
Just HDR.
Okay.
So
90% of the quality on the PS4 Pro,
HDR,
in my
right?
opinion, comes from the HDR, not the 4K.
And I haven't done a lot of testing between 4K and not 4K, but.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The HDR for me is where,
especially
that's
the
where
distance you sit from that TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess we'll find out what decision I ultimately make eventually. But
eventually,
it's an interesting choice, and it's an interesting choice that we're going to have to make for all these big releases for presumably the next 4 or 5
well,
6
if they
months.
have a system in place which lets you import a character from the previous game. Other than that,
but
it's basically just
even at the
preference.
same time, like if a great game comes out say Red Dead Redemption comes out, and I think that's September.
Mm-hmm.
But do I want to play a lesser version of Red Dead by getting it on my Xbox and having to wait for the Xbox, the Scorpio version of it to come out, or do I want to play it immediately my PlayStation Pro?
Well, is Scorpio going to do the same thing the PS4 Pro did, where it's like, hey, if you make a game, it has to play on the original Xbox.
Yeah, they'll all play on
patches.
all of them.
Okay.
But I don't think they have to necessarily offer a patch. I mean, you'd think they would.
Right, they don't have to, but
you got to think they will.
Yeah, you just have to assume they will because,
It's an interesting time to be playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk some Switch for a little bit.
Yeah, interesting times for games indeed.
Right, yeah.
The Nintendo Switch is amazing.
Yes.
I love this thing.
I do too. I am disappointed to find out, though, that it is a possibility that on games that are physical releases, that Switch games may often cost more than their counterparts on the PlayStation and Xbox if they don't sell for a full $60 retail.
Right.
So, for instance, Rime, which is coming out soonish, I think the next 2 months.
Which I saw a preview to that.
God, it looks
finally, and it looks great.
gorgeous. Like that little fox friend, I'm super excited about that.
It looks like a super cool game.
Yeah,
when you said Rime, I'm like, is this a musical game?
R-Y-M-E?
Yeah.
No, I think it's actually R capital I.
Oh, yeah, this is R-I, yeah.
Yeah. Looks super fun, but it's going to retail for $30 on the Xbox, and it's going to retail for $30 on the PlayStation 4, and it's going to be $40 on the Switch because cartridges cost a whole lot more money to make than Blu-rays.
Which is just ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, there's not it's one.
You wouldn't think it would be $10 more.
Yeah, not $10. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that coating they put on the cartridge is worth $10. Well, in all actuality, I mean, if I have to spend $10 extra so I don't eat my game, I'm okay with that.
I might be tempted to eat it. They are bite-sized.
Right? I know. I paid $10 for this. I'll do whatever I want.
But I think the kind of stupid, I mean, and I completely understand why they're doing it too, but if Rime, if you can buy it retail for $40, you would think that then, hey, if the cost is the cartridge, then I can buy it digital for $30, right? And Nintendo is not allowing them to do that. So your physical price and your digital price are always going to be the same for these Nintendo cartridges that are going to presumably cost $10 more for a game.
Which hopefully this is going to cause enough of a uproar, and maybe it'll hurt actual sales enough to where they'll rethink it.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that $10 extra for a cartridge game is really something that's going to
fly.
Well, not necessarily just fly, but it's not. It's purely a profit thing.
You got to think, right?
Like $10.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
And I mean, I guess the flip side of that is by paying that extra $10 price, you then also have a game that you can take with you to work, like Adam does.
Right? Yeah.
So
if for the mobility,
if you are all about playing games on the bus or playing games wherever you go in traffic, don't.
There's an
avalanche. If a tanker has rolled over on I-5 and you have to wait in traffic for all the fuel to be siphoned to a new truck, you can bust out your Nintendo Switch while the taco truck opens, and you can go buy tacos in traffic.
If you're listening and you're wondering what Dylan's talking about, so we're based in Seattle, and last week or the week before, a propane tanker flipped over on I-5 South right outside of downtown, and because it was a flammable explosive situation, they shut down I-5 basically right after rush hour, both directions, north and south, for 8 hours while they siphoned and removed this truck out of the way.
Just imagine the busiest, most important freeway in whatever city you live in. That's I-5. It runs from here all the way to Mexico.
Shutting that down in the middle of the day for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And if only the Switch was out at that point.
Right. He could have played.
It would have been fine. Like, no one would have cared.
We're like, why would you play games in traffic? Well, interestingly enough, in the middle of that whole thing, there was a taco truck stuck on I-5. And they started serving food. They were like, well, we're here for the day, so let's make some money.
I'm sure
and they started serving.
It.
Yeah, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. They made money.
I'd be so hungry. Like, if I get stuck in traffic and I eat all my snacks, like the previous day or something, because I try to keep snacks in my car, or my mom gets really upset with me.
It is
like, why don't you have snacks in your car?
The most frustrating thing about this is Dylan weighs like, I don't know, a third of me. I don't ever have car snacks.
I get real grumpy.
And high metabolism.
Yeah. It's the most unfair thing on this planet. He's 7'9" and weighs 85 pounds.
However, and I hate him. It's not really efficient on the wallet
Right.
to
Valid.
be this hungry all
But
the
could you
time.
imagine, though, if you were stuck, and we'll get back to the game thing, of course, that we're actually here for, but could you imagine being stuck on I-5 in the middle of the day, eating a burrito, and then still being there 8 hours later?
And
not
all
being-
the burritos are probably gone at that point.
Yeah, and everybody around you has had burritos, and they're still stuck in their cars, too. It could be a different kind of explosive.
Right? Yeah, the propane was not the
Seriously.
biggest danger there.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
hilarious.
But anyway,
Yes.
so now that we've proved that a Switch is invaluable in times of crisis.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that extra $10 pays out. Next thing is, this is really interesting. Go ahead and talk about this, Adam. I like this a lot.
Oh, yeah. So this morning when I was waking up and going through the news just to see what was going on in the world, because I like to stay on top of things, I noticed this really cool headline. And the headline is, "This blind gamer got to play ping pong with his wife, all thanks to the Nintendo Switch." And I was thinking, what is that all about? Well, it turns out because, like we were talking about earlier, all the tech going into the Switch, and specifically the Joy-Cons, with the rumble and all the audio cues coming from the Switch when it comes to the game 1-2 Switch, it's opening up video games for a whole new realm of players, area of players that have only had very limited kinds of things to play in the past, and it had to be games that were specifically targeted towards them with these audio cues. But yeah, so it's a guy, it just did the thing. So anyway, this guy's name is Rich Maroney. He went blind in 2002, lost his sight due to diabetic retinopathy, which is a thing. But anyway, he and his wife, they got the Switch when it came out on March 3rd, and with 1-2 Switch, all the different mini games, they started playing games, and because of the haptic feedback, he can play games with his wife, which is a really
cool.
that's really
For
cool.
the first time in 15 years.
Yeah.
And it said he could play.
So there's 28 mini games that come on 1-2 Switch. He and his wife together, or he by himself if he wanted to, 22 of those 28 games.
It's pretty cool.
He could play. So the Safe Crack game, the Quick Draw game, all of that.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned really, or if you're not super familiar with 1-2 Switch yet, all the games you don't really ever have to look at the screen.
Yeah.
It's all about looking at your opponent, which isn't really part of the game, but the idea is that you're not looking at the screen. It is all...
I think some of them are actually
interacting
harder
with-
if you're actually looking at the screen for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all feel, and like the ping pong game is kind of interesting, I guess reminiscent of Wii Tennis, right? But it's all based on hearing the ping pong ball hitting the table and finding that rhythm to slap the ball back and forth. So it totally...
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's a really cool story. And I mean, so according to this particular report, there's over 7 million people who've got some kind of a visual disability in the U.S. alone. So if the Nintendo Switch finds a way, or if the developers find a way to really tweak the games towards people in that situation or with that specific type of, thing, it's just a whole new market for them. So, I mean, good for the developers. Money-wise, they'll make money, but what a great way to bring a video game to a group of people who've never been able to play it before.
I wonder if there was any purpose to that, or if it just is happy coincidence. Because, I mean, you're really right.
I mean, they thought so. Nintendo thought about coating the cartridges in a bitter film to make people not eat it. So you kind of want to think maybe
it was an idea. Yeah.
Maybe it was an idea.
I mean, and if it wasn't, you're right. Like that could be a whole new market segment of people that can't play games that potentially could. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Super cool.
How did they find this game? Like, how did they think, hey,
That's
can
a good
play
question.
this game?
Yeah, I wonder if they thought about it beforehand, or if they
I
got
don't
it
know. I
and
don't
just
think
like, I could totally play that game.
I don't think,
Interesting.
because he says his wife plays Zelda all the time. So I'm assuming
She's just a gamer.
she's just a gamer.
They probably got one at launch, picked up the two
games.
games that were out, and they found out, hey,
yeah, I can actually play this.
You can play this.
That's
so
cool.
I think there is a little element of coincidence there.
I like it.
And
I
I
like it a
wonder,
lot.
that's real neat.
It kind of makes me wish there was like audio like on the actual Joy-Cons too, though. Because I don't think there is. I don't think there's speakers on there.
Yeah, not like the Wiimotes.
Not like the Wiimotes, or not
Oh,
like
yeah,
not like
little
the
speakers in the Wiimotes.
those things were terrible.
The directional audio on that is good enough that I don't think I would have thought that there wasn't, though. Like,
Oh yeah, because the sound that
Yeah.
comes out of the little speakers on the
It's
Switch
good.
itself,
Yeah.
it's good.
yeah,
So,
interesting.
but yeah, that's a little feel good story I ran across this morning. Thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so up next,
Oh, that was
Overwatch.
for me.
I'm like,
Overwatch.
yeah.
Excellent setup, Adam.
Yeah.
So-
Up next,
He's practicing.
Right, yeah. So we talk Overwatch a lot on this podcast, which is strange because I don't think any of us play it a ton. Like we all play it casually except for Adam. But I think
just
it's
don't play it.
Yeah, I
I
think
play
it's
it above casually,
oh, that's true. You are
but
actually
not not hardcore.
You could play competitively now.
I need more friends to play Overwatch with on the Xbox One.
I need more friends.
Willing to buy it on PS4 for friends.
That's why I play so many video games. I don't have many friends.
Adam.
But I think it's just because, I mean, it's such a huge part of the culture right now. I mean, Overwatch, I think they just released it. They've sold 25.5 million copies of it or something. So, I mean, a lot of people are playing that game right now.
Game of the Year winner.
Yeah.
It's only been out for almost a year now?
No, I don't even think a year.
It was May.
Was it?
Something.
I thought it was
last spring.
I thought it was later in the year. But anyway, it's a terrific game, and I'm just so interested by the meta and the constantly evolving nature of it. So we do talk about it a lot, and this is something that we don't talk about a lot, though, is that if you only play Overwatch, you may not even be aware that there's a huge story behind Overwatch, and it's not told in the game, but I mean, like, there's comics and there's like animated shorts. They've created all this story behind it that isn't necessary to play the game, but is interesting if you're interested in it. Overwatch is actually almost like a story about like good versus evil, and there's good heroes and bad heroes and how they all connect. But a story came out last week that in one of the comics, I think a couple weeks ago, it was not recently, it was early in the year, Symmetra, who is one of the characters in the game, mentioned something about being on the spectrum. And a couple people wrote in to people at Blizzard and said, like, is she saying that she's autistic? And one of the lead guys at Blizzard wrote back, actually said, like, this is actually via letter, not even via email.
Oh, wow.
And amazing. Said, yeah, that's exactly it, is that she, has some degree of autism. And that was really, like, it blew up all over the internet. And it was super impactful to people to realize that this game included people that were like them. And Blizzard has done a really good job about that in Overwatch. I think it's a really powerful thing for people to be able to play games that represent them. And in addition to that, Overwatch is very multicultural. It has people of all genders and races.
I mean, people are purple.
People are purple. Some people are robots.
So, and they all kind of get along.
Yeah, and I don't think so. I think they literally are at war.
They are.
But,
it's actually very complicated.
Yeah.
And then some of them are like mercenaries, shades of gray. So
I also found out very recently that Bastion is actually non-gendered. He is neither male nor it is neither male nor female. He's
a robot.
He's literally a robot.
Oh wow! See,
yeah.
I've never played. I don't know any of these characters. I mean, every once in a while I'll see those short, like when they release a new character. What is it, Orisa? Last week or the week before, like I've seen shorts here and there, but I've never really delved into the.
I really need to start reading the comics.
Characters.
Maybe 2 months ago, I want to say that they in the comics again they released that Tracer is gay and that she's got a girlfriend, and again it's hugely impactful for people that identify that way. And it's and again some people were real pissed about it too because people are stupid.
Well, and I mean I remember when was it the Sims game? I'm sure it was a Sims game. When they were able to make two male characters or two female characters, have a relationship, people lost their mind. And I want to say that they were quick to kind of patch that out.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And it was accidental.
That was like 10 years ago at least. It's been a long time.
And now you see it. It's common in so many games. The Witcher and Mass Effect. Like it's.
Well, see, I've not played those games either.
But you bought The Witcher. No,
I did
my
not
brother
buy
bought The Witcher. You should buy The Witcher. It's real good.
I
know, but yeah, there's 90 hours of your life away. But I just think I think Blizzard should get some kudos for very purposefully. That was not a word.
Purposefully.
There's like an extra three syllables
there was a word
there.
in there, though.
Making a game that includes everyone. It's I think something the game industry, I don't want to say as a whole, but especially indie games and big parts of the AAA games are very progressive and forward thinking in that way. And I think that Blizzard should get a shout out for making that as part of their game.
I think it's cool too that them as a company, because before it was like, oh yeah, here's this gay character over here. Oh, here's this thing over here, or whatever. Now they're just kind of like, it's a big giant middle finger to everybody, to all the haters and all the naysayers and nasties or whatever you want to call them that are out there that are bitching and pissing and moaning about it.
And I think the cool thing about it too is it wasn't even an announcement. It wasn't like Blizzard didn't make any big deal about it. It was just like, here's this comic, go read it.
Exactly.
It was cool.
But I think it also fits really well within the game because there's such a variety of characters.
Exactly.
And the story lends itself to the way the game plays. It's like there is a character for you, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool that the backstory kind of fits within the context of how the game actually plays, even though when you play Overwatch, none of that is even apparent whatsoever.
Right, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I enjoy game studios though that take that extra step and give a shooting game a backstory. Like Team Fortress 2 did that too, where they released all these funny little vignettes trying to here's what a pyro does, here's what and they were funny and really good. So it's cool when they can do that. Mages of Mistralia is doing that right now. Actually, it's a game that's they've got a Kickstarter actually starting. I'm going to say tomorrow. Actually, yeah, tomorrow when this releases, it's on the 16th. But they're releasing this kind of cool role-playing kind of Zelda-ish game. And but the entire backstory for it is actually being pre-released in comic books. So you can go read the comics now, and then when the game comes out, you'll know what all the backstory is. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
That's cool.
This kind of like reminds me of really old school games, though, right? Like,
right?
You used to
you had to read the manual.
You had a book and
Yeah.
like all the backstory in Mario that you never actually play in the game,
Yep.
other than you go fetch Peach from 100 castles per game.
Not that castle.
Sorry,
Or you fight
Princess
Ganon
Another
over and over,
Yeah.
and he keeps coming back. I don't
Mhm.
know, but yeah, like so much of the game was in the book that came with
Yep.
the game. Now games don't even come with books, but it's kind of nice though because it focuses on all these games are really good,
Yeah.
and they're never weighed down by the story or some bad third act that you don't finish the game or anything.
Yeah, the story's optional.
Which is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
So.
I was, as an aside though, I was totally weirded out when I opened my Breath of the Wild and opened up the package, and there's literally not a single piece of paper in there.
Oh yeah,
Like there's not even that pretend manual that's just like a picture on the front. You open it, it's a single page, and you close
It's just
it.
a
Like it's empty. This little teeny flash drive
bitter
inside of this
tasting cracker.
massive case.
Right, and and to go just to the whole back when we talked about how certain games are going to cost $10 more on the Switch.
Yeah.
Do you think that they could cut that $10 cost down
By making
if
the
they
packaging
made the
smaller?
packaging actually the size of the actual game?
Why are we still making like big
Packaging in
boxes
Jordan
Seriously. That's just, it's like, there's your $10 cost cutting
Yeah.
tool right there. Give
Yeah.
us.
How about we make
that was
us
a word.
download it
As someone
online?
who's worked retail before, like you got to have a box to put it in.
I
Like,
know, but come on.
right? Yeah,
Let's just download it online only.
Oh,
Everything
like,
online.
I would be 100% behind that. Like I would buy everything that way, except that oftentimes online games are or digital games are more expensive than the box copies, which is ridiculous.
Silly.
But I understand why, though.
So.
It's because they don't have to put them on sale. Like in a store, you put things on sale because you need shelf space.
Yeah.
And online, there's no
Which
such
is-
thing as shelf space. So, but yeah, no,
and now we're selling online codes in stores. Like,
right.
what?
That's my favorite thing.
What?
The
I don't
if you
understand.
bought what do I want to say? If you bought some of the collector's editions that have come out recently, so you actually buy the collector's edition and they don't actually come with the game anymore because they don't know like what you'll like. They can't say, "Hey, here's the collector's edition of Mass Effect Andromeda." It comes with this giant and I don't know that one specifically, but it comes with like a remote control car.
Yeah.
But oftentimes they don't come with the game anymore because there's so many separate SKUs for every single game, and most like a GameStop will get one or two of them, not an Xbox one and a PlayStation 4, and so it's weird. It's weird stuff.
We went off on a tangent.
Yeah, it's all right. Retail's good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So yay, Blizzard.
so
Good
let's
on ya.
talk about, and this is actually a perfect segue though. We're going to talk about online games, digital distribution stuff from PlayStation Now, which we talked about maybe 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, because PlayStation Now is going to discontinue their support for the Vita, the TVs, and
The PlayStation 3, and I want to say like the PlayStation TV, the little they have a set-top box too.
I don't even put that on my radar because it's not.
It's a thing. They're still trying to sell it.
Well, I know that the PlayStation View, the service itself, that's a thing, and that's PlayStation View, VUE.
I
You've
have
not
no
heard
idea
of
what
this,
that is.
really? It's
No.
It's so there's Sling TV, there's PlayStation View, and then there is the Dish Network or DirecTV version. They're all online streaming services,
Oh.
and they're similar to your cable package, but they're a third of the cost.
And is that what you have to have the little box for?
You don't have to have the box.
Oh, see,
for
but
it,
they make
no.
a little box too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can. Well, I mean, you can use it on the box, but you can also stream it direct to your TV if it's enabled, and to your PS4
Sure,
or your
sure.
PC. Anyway, that's a different thing.
Totally different thing. But anyway, so they discontinued all that, and people were kind of wondering, like, why would you do that? That seems real awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that for sure this is relevant, but they announced that soon. They didn't say what soon is, but soon there will be certain PS4 games that will be available on PlayStation Now, which is kind of cool.
It's really cool.
The funny thing is I read that Amazon, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then someone pointed out to me like, hey, you might not have to own a PlayStation 4 in order to play PlayStation 4 games. I'm like, oh, that's why it's cool.
Oh, but I love my PS4.
Yeah, but for people that, and I guess you have to do the math too. It's $20 a month. So every year you're talking $240. That's about the cost of a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that doesn't include the cost of the games. So,
right.
Is it depending on how many PlayStation 4 games is that worthwhile?
I think $20 a month is a bit pricey. I think it's for a game service.
I agree.
I really do.
Outrageous.
I think it's at least.
I don't know if it's outrageous.
Outrageous.
I don't know if it's outrageous if they're putting like quality, like not just quality games, but like you also get access to the big AAA titles that are $60 a pop. I think that I would be more inclined to pay the $20 a month if it included those big games, which I know it's probably not to start.
I think it's outrageous for PS3 games. Like that's just dumb. But I don't think it's ever going to be like first run stuff, but I think it could be like Netflix, right, where, hey, this game came out 6 months ago or 7 months ago, and now it hits,
and if that's the case, now, then it should be
$20 a month is maybe still a little expensive, but probably not
10 to 15.
Yeah, and that's I think if it's got 6 months old AAA games on it, $15 a month is great.
Yeah,
I would like it to be 10, and I don't think I'd ever actually.
Right.
I don't know. The funny thing is so this really compares almost directly now to Xbox Game Pass that they are previewing right now. And I wish I could remember how much that cost. It seemed like it was less than 20 though.
I think that one was like $10.
$10. And so then the question is which would you rather have? A streaming service where you don't have to download and install these games, or one where you actually get physical copies that live on your computer for as long as they're on the service?
Right. Digital copies.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know.
Dylan,
I don't know.
What do you think?
I like the idea. I like the idea of streaming.
Yeah.
I really do, because then it's like, then you don't have to, let's say that maybe drives the costs down because you don't have to have storage, or you don't have to have this. You don't have to, since you don't have to have an actual PlayStation unit to play.
Yeah, and that is a big difference.
So that's cool. But at the same time, $10 a month, and I eat up 10 gigs of storage every month, and then swap them out at the end of each month or whatever.
And the reality too is the performance is always going to be better for a title that lives locally on your computer.
Yeah.
Like, is always going to be. And like, depending on where you live and depending on what the data caps in your area are, like, I don't know how much data streaming a game eats up, but I've got to think it's about the same amount of data that watching a, full res movie on Netflix does, which.
Because I want to say, no, I was reading a different article, but I'd imagine you'd want to have a 10 meg download at least.
Oh, probably way more than that. But
you
yeah.
Think?
Well, like minimum for Netflix is about 8 or 10. And so I would think to get low latency and to actually have these games be playable, you've got to have pretty good internet.
Okay.
And
I don't know how stuff like that works. I'm just like, it's the internet. It works.
I don't think I want to stream games.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem.
I still have not done it. I'm waiting. There's a couple services that are going to open up pretty soon. GeForce, the graphics card maker, have one that's coming, and there's another one that I can't remember the name of offhand, but both of them are PC based, and I want to try them.
Well, see, I've tried PlayStation.
And you
Now.
said it worked pretty good.
I've played PlayStation Now, and it worked fantastic.
Yeah.
I played Last of Us first on there. I played a couple other games on there because I had it free and I tried it out for the week or whatever, and I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
I had just gotten the PS4. We'd just gotten our TV. And I could play it on either the PS3, the PS4, or my TV, and it worked flawlessly.
I wonder what the difference between, because when you think about the difference in resolution between a PS3 game and a PS4 game, like most PS3 games were maybe 1080, 30 frames a second, but probably I would guess more of them were like that 720 to 900, resolution, and maybe 30 frames a second, versus a lot of PS3 game or PS4 and especially PS4 Pro games are 1080 or
4K.
Checkerbox 4K and 60 frames a second. I wonder what the difference in ability to how those would stream would be. Obviously a lot more bandwidth, but I think it also, if you're someone who has a data cap, that is a problem. It could, I don't know exactly how it would work, but it could definitely be problematic.
And expensive.
So anyway.
Interesting. I'll try it out. If they offer a free trial again, which I don't know if I'll qualify since I've already done it once.
Check it out.
But I'll still try it again,
Yeah.
just because I really like it.
You know, and I've been kind of meaning to try the trial. The trial's unfortunately short too. Like it really seems like 7 days is not enough for me to really.
Well,
see
we've
if I
seen
wanna-
all the games you can play in 7 days, Cliff. So don't tell us that a week's not long enough.
You're the only one that can get your money's worth
That's
for
valid.
free.
Very valid.
All right. Up next,
My cousin Vinny.
hey Vinny, how you doing?
Vinny is
How you
good.
doing?
He was lucky and went to PAX East, as opposed to me.
I think it's a long way from us.
It is well, and
Where was that?
It's in Boston, and actually, like
Boston?
as much as I
Boston.
wanted to go,
Is it down by the Hobby Yard?
yes,
Do they serve clam chowder?
I'm sure they do.
That's really good.
It's not.
No, it's really
Are you
good.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real good.
There's actually a bunch of developers that I follow on Twitter who are still stuck in Boston because of the snow.
Oh.
So, you know, like the good side of PAX East is PAX East was real fun. The downside of PAX East is we might still be living there in the airport. So, but he had a great time. PAX is, I've went the last 2 years to PAX Prime and it's phenomenal. It's so much fun. You get
Where's
to
that?
Just,
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go to PAX Prime this year.
I would like to.
I'm very excited.
I think we should have our
go to all
boss
4
pay for
days.
it.
Is it in Boston?
No, it's in
Yeah.
Seattle. It's at the convention center. But he played a bunch of games at PAX East. He said he loved the new Friday the 13th game.
I've seen the previews of that. That just looks amazing.
Right? Looks real good.
I can't wait. So is that kind of like the Evolve game where it's like a 4v1?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. He also played a game called Sundown, which was completely off my radar. Like 100%. I'd never seen anything about it. And it looks so dang fun. We watched the
Looks real
trailer
cool,
yesterday.
yeah.
It's like a multiplayer... it's a 4-player
Shoot your
on
friends.
one map kind of thing where you're all looking at the same thing. But the maps are really dark and it's overhead. And so you can really only see the other people on your map when they fire at someone or if they enter these lit spaces. So you have to be very careful about when you shoot because as soon as you shoot, everyone knows where you are. It looks really, really, really fun in that kind of like couch co-op-y, kill your friends kind of way. So,
Because, that's how I like to pass time is killing my friends.
exactly.
Guns with
right?
friends.
Guns with friends.
Guns with friends.
We need to trademark that now.
Right. He also played Mass Effect multiplayer, which I am super excited about. I'm actually going to start playing that tomorrow. It's available early access tomorrow. So,
Fancy.
yeah, well, but his question for this week was actually what games from PAX did you, I mean, obviously we didn't go, but there's a lot of news generated that. What were you excited about? And I don't know, did you guys keep track of PAX at all?
Not really.
Not really, but I saw one thing in particular that popped up that
Tell me about it, Dylan.
Mr. Shifty.
Which I love the name of.
It's real cool. So if
I've known a few
someone was
people in
at
my
PAX
life like
East
that.
and saw this, tell us more about it. I just saw a little video, and it's very similar to Hotline Miami, which, as you recall,
yeah.
the top-down
Yeah.
brutal shooter.
And that's going to be a Switch game, right?
Yes, and this is coming to PC and Switch. But the difference between this and like Hotline Miami, it's very similar. It's got a cool art style as well, but you have this Nightcrawler-esque ability to teleport short distances.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So you're able to dodge your enemy's attacks, whereas Hotline Miami is very much about moving through the environment and hiding
Sure.
behind corners and stuff and being able to really quickly pop around and aim in all the right directions, kill all the baddies, win the level. So this one, it'll be very similar, but you're able to hop around. So it's still it probably is even faster paced because you can constantly be moving around
Nice.
and dodging with your short range teleport. But this is one of those games where I think if the Switch gets titles like this, that's where those systems are really going to shine.
And someday maybe you'll even own one.
Yep.
Yeah, once they.
It was in my cart.
Yeah.
And it sold out.
It shopped. I got a text like, hey, they're at Walmart. And literally, I'm like, Dylan, get over
man.
here. Was putting in all his
Within 2
information.
minutes.
Yeah. Hit some send. It's like, oh, sorry, there's none in your
sold out.
cart. They sold out in 5 minutes or 2 minutes.
Within 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Man.
They expect to ship 2 million by the end of March.
And it would
Yeah,
have
they're
been here.
already-
It's
it
the
would have been
fastest
here
selling
on
console.
Friday.
It's crazy. It's the fastest selling console Nintendo's ever had in the first 5 days. So
That's insane.
Faster
And
than
they've
the
already,
Wii.
like halfway through the month, they've already hit their first month sales goal.
crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Don't set that goal high enough. Make more consoles.
Right?
Yeah, right.
What are you doing?
It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of Twitch. I follow on Twitch a ton of developers, so I got to see everyone saying how cool Twitch was from kind of the other side of things. A couple of games that I'm super excited about is Pyre, which is. Did you play Bastion? Or
I own it.
That's good enough.
I'm starting to turn into you. I've never played it, but I own it.
See, I like that. They made Bastion, and this is kind of a cross between like almost an adventure game and a role-playing game. Looks real fun. Coming out sometime this year. I'm excited about that. Rhyme, which I know you've seen.
That I've seen, and I am excited about
I want
that.
that little fox dude. They had that was one of the things I kept saying is I don't know if they had one or they were giving away a bunch of them. They were giving away these little teeny stuffed foxes. They were so cute.
Yeah.
I really wanted one of those.
And I mean, from what I gathered from that game, it almost looked kind of like a Zelda.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
the new
very Zelda. And the good news is that is actually coming to the Switch too. We actually talked about it earlier in the podcast. It's the one that confirmed the $10 more. So I don't think I'm going to buy it on the Switch, but whatever. Looks real good. Ooblets is right. Yeah, it's an adorable like Pokemon slash like what's that farming game? Not Farmville. Animal Crossing.
Oh,
yeah,
Animal
it's
Crossing.
like a Pokemon Animal Crossing mashup that looks super fun.
Poke Crossing.
I think that's actually a next year release, but that one looks really fun too.
All right.
And then Flint Hook, which is like a Spider-Man-y kind of roguelike. You have a hook that you use to go around all these levels. I played it at ID at Xbox last year. It's super fun. It's coming out, I think, next month. So that was a cool one that I saw a lot of buzz about at PAX too. But great question. PAX is fun. Like there's just like literally if you live anywhere around Seattle, go to PAX Prime. If you live anywhere around Boston, go to PAX East. If you live anywhere in Texas, drive to wherever in Texas it is, go to PAX South. And there's also a PAX Australia.
Ooh, so, let's
PAX
go there.
Barbecue?
Right? Yeah.
What?
I was thinking Texas.
PAX and barbecue.
PAX and barbecue
like,
or PAX and kangaroos. I'm down for
Yeah, either. Or barbecue kangaroos.
I don't really think that's a thing.
I don't think it is either.
Oh, yeah. You sure it is.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any of our Australian listeners, if you could confirm barbecue kangaroo, that would be great. I don't think we have any Australian listeners.
We might. We very well
people
could.
eat them.
People eat kangaroos?
Mm-hmm. There was an exotic like burger joint.
Actually, now that you say that, my brother's
and you can
kangaroo.
eat like lions and yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I was at when I had a layover in Boston and then flew up to Toronto and we went to like the world's best farmers. It's like one of the top farmers markets.
They have like ground kangaroo.
And, well, they had kangaroo burger and stuff.
I forgot, my brother actually bought ground kangaroo at Sprouts. Do we have Sprouts in Seattle? I don't think so.
That's
it's like
negative. I'm guessing
it's like a Whole Foods. Huh. So
I'm very distraught right now about this whole kangaroo business.
You don't have to eat a kangaroo.
Yeah,
I kind of want to though.
They had kangaroo. They had camel. They had everything.
What?
As a vegetarian, I don't like where this conversation's going.
Yeah. I'm not really into it either. I had shark jerky once though.
Ew.
Mako shark.
That sounds real gross. Anyway,
I need to go.
And
We need to
gator.
go. We need to go. Yeah, I need to go eat food with you somewhere.
this sounds gross.
Yeah,
Let's just go
anyway.
eat pizza. Pizza's
It's
awesome.
real
Pizza's
fishy.
good. Yeah.
Cheap free games.
Yes, cheap and free.
As I say every week, if you own a PlayStation, get PlayStation Plus. It's worth it. If you have an Xbox,
Especially coming up soon with PlayStation Plus.
Have you got the insider info?
Drawn to Death is free for PlayStation Plus members next month when it comes out.
Is it going to be? Is that
being
one of the
released.
Plus games for next month?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't tell if it was extra or was.
Yeah,
part
I
of
don't
the
know
pack.
if it's part of the package or it's just saying it's being released next week and it will be free to PlayStation Plus
That game
members.
is hella fun.
Hand-drawn,
If it's
third-person
being
shooter.
released, then how have you played it?
I played it at PAX West last year.
Son of a.
See, we're going to go this year. It'll be great fun. You'll love
Man.
it. It's really fun though because it was like 6 months ago. It was at the 1st of September.
Drawn
and
to
so
Death.
right about now is when all the games you play at PAX start coming out. It's real cool. Anyway, buy both of those things. They're both worth it.
It's
EA
totally worth
Access
it.
is also totally worth it. If you're a Xbox gamer or a PC gamer, it's just they're silly cheap. Do it. Anyway, just as a reminder, at this point in time, if you did not get Borderlands 2, shame on you because it's too late.
Yeah, really?
Well,
I mean, I own it, but it's
yeah.
like people who never played Borderlands, and if you start with Borderlands 2, it's great. Borderlands 1 was fun. It was fine. It was whatever. But Borderlands 2 is really the one where it's just kind of like, look at what we did.
They're both spectacular.
Yeah. And then the pre-sequel after that is even better.
And I've not played that.
Oh, so much
it's really
fun.
good. So,
Anyway.
unfortunately, if you missed that, you missed it. Sorry, you'll have to buy it. But you can, starting on the 15th or 16th, sorry, of March, you can get Evolve, which we talked about last time. Like, God knows how that's going to work. Being a free-to-play game on PC and, getting dropped by developers and so on and so forth. But you can also get Heavy Weapon, which is that terrible, like, Flash-looking game from PopCap. So that's not something I'd recommend, although I'm very excited to try it because it just looks so bad.
We should probably support local.
Yeah, support local.
We'll support local.
I mean, if you live here.
I drove by there the other day when I was stuck in traffic. It was great.
Good enough.
They had a cool sign. They're like zombies creeping on it.
That's awesome.
So
you can also still get Layers of Fear, which I played and I finished, and it was real fun. So that is it for Xbox. PS Plus is not going to be announced for a couple weeks, although there are already 6 games out. You should get all them too. But PlayStation has a sale going on right now that's really cool. It's a lot of indie games that I'm a big fan of, and it goes it goes for a while, I think, through April
11th.
April 11th. So yeah, this one's one that
I've already started buying on it.
Yeah, it's great. The 4 games that I would, and so what the deal is they're all indie games. They're all $20, but they're buy one get one free. Although apparently you can only get that deal once per cart. So if you want 6 games, you have to get like 3 separate transactions, which is weird.
Silly.
But whatever. The Banner Saga 2 is in that. Firewatch is in that. Gone Home is in that. And
which those are the
Oxenfree.
2 I brought. Firewatch and Gone Home.
Yeah, and I loved Gone Home, and I'm in the middle of Firewatch right now, and I'm loving it. I'm going to say maybe a quarter of the way through it, and it's great. It is literally one of the most, like, I'm not going to say it's beautiful in the same way that, like, Horizon Zero Dawn is beautiful, but it's beautiful in that just, like, stylized, gorgeous kind of way. It's all set in, like, the kind of high Wyoming, forest, and it looks just like, because the high Wyoming forest looks a ton like the high Utah forest, which I've spent a lot of time in. It looks like it. It makes you feel like you're walking through trees. It's absolutely amazing. Nice. But those 4 games I would highly recommend. You could spend $40 and get, none of them are real long either. I mean, that's probably only like maybe 15 or 20 hours worth of game, but for $40 to get that many high quality, like awesome games, you just can't.
I've never heard of Gone Home.
Gone Home is so good.
Yeah, and I watched the trailer because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to buy.
It's a walking simulator.
Was going to be the one.
It's just a walking simulator, and it's about a girl who literally goes home. And she gets there, and her front door's open, and none of her family is there, and she has to. Okay, and you think it's going to be a horror game, like
don't tell me, I've not played it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it's atmospheric. It's beautifully well written. It's done by a group called Fulbright, I want to say, out of Portland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're great. Steve Gaynor, who's like the lead guy on it, or the co-founder of Fulbright, I love to listen to him talk. He's been on a couple podcasts I listen to, and he's such a cool guy and really gets games. Mm-hmm. Both of the people that I think made that studio, co-founded that studio, are people who did the Minerva's Den DLC for BioShock 2, which is pretty widely regarded as some of the best DLC you're ever going to play. So people that know storytelling, gotcha. It's so fun. And again, it's only like 3.5 hours, but it was such a great 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and I figured that like for basically $10.
Yeah, totally worth
really
that. Firewatch is totally worth that. I've not actually played Oxenfree, but I own it. But based on other people that like games, the same kind of games I like, I think I'm going to like Oxenfree too. It's got apparently really great writing, great conversation. So
cool.
Definitely, if you got a PS4, go buy some stuff. You'll love it. There's a ton of other games on sale too. I mean, there's probably a list of 20, 25 kind of indie games, and just none that I knew, but I'm sure there's some other stuff in there
were
too.
A couple of them in there I want to say that I've already got in my library just based on previous PS Plus giveaways or freebies for the month. So make sure you double check your library to make sure you don't pull a cliff.
I bet you the PlayStation Store tells you that, wouldn't you think?
It does, but it's like, it does, but if you're just like flipping through, it doesn't necessarily say it's in your library.
Or if you already own them all on Steam.
Yeah, so, I was going to say.
But I think it's a great sale. Go buy some stuff.
Yeah, it's going on until April 11th, so you've got time to decide.
Yeah, one other thing I will say that is on sale right now, it's for 99 cents. It's a mobile game, and it is called Prune, and I have not played it yet, but I did buy it.
Yeah, okay.
It's normally $5, but the reason I'm going to recommend it is I saw someone tweet at the Alto's Adventure developers, and they said, "I just finished your game. What should I play next?" And they literally said, if I was going to recommend one other game you should play, it should be Prune. So I love their game, so I figure I'd like their game suggestions. But it's on sale for. There's a bunch of kind of games in that genre that are on sale for $1. They're normally
What kind
like $4 or
of game
$5.
is it?
I think just kind of atmospheric, fun, mobile stuff.
Okay.
This one actually has to do with like pruning trees and moving them through things.
I'm sold on it.
Yeah, right?
I prune trees for a living.
So
I'm pruning trees right now.
Yeah. So I hear it's good. So give it a look.
Adam's lying.
I am a liar face.
But I think that's us for the week.
That is us for the week. We are wrapping up our Lego Dimensions giveaway as of the airing of this.
Yeah, we'll
Release
have
of this?
It probably will. Let's see. It'll still be going through the end of tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you haven't entered yet, you certainly should and can.
Okay. And when you say end of tomorrow, end of day of release.
Yes.
Okay, so the end of is if you're listening to this podcast as it
on day
goes
of
up,
release, there's still moments left for you to do it. It'll
Yeah,
end
yeah.
at essentially midnight, Thursday the 16th, I believe.
right? And
Yeah.
we will announce our winner. We'll notify them via email or social medias or
Yeah.
whatever. But
as soon as they get back to us, we'll announce it. So.
yeah, we'll announce it
Try to
on the
win.
lines.
Adam had so much fun with the box that the game just has to be funner.
Yeah, and I
We're
played
guessing.
fun.
I played the first hour of it. It's a lot of fun. My kid loved it, so give that a try. Are we going to announce our next giveaway too?
Yeah. How are we going to do it?
I think we're going to do it on Twitter.
we're going to do it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just Twitter.
Just Twitter.
Just Twitter.
No screwing around this time with other things. So
Okay.
we're going to be giving away a copy of The Witness,
Yes.
which is a super gorgeous puzzle game that is literally unlike any other game you've ever played. I guarantee it. Super fun. Adam and I have both played it. Neither of us are good at it.
It's
but
brutally difficult.
yeah,
Once you get
really hard.
past the first handful of puzzles that are kind of like, oh, this is how you solve these puzzles,
Yeah.
or this is the type of puzzle you're going to be playing. And then once you start moving off to different parts of the island, they're just insane. How many puzzles did they say?
400 and something.
Yeah,
Super
there's a
hard.
lot.
But they're all very...
Have you played this?
I don't have that many fingers.
Yeah. It's really fun, though. So watch for it on Twitter, and I think it's just going to be like a like us and retweet it kind of.
And this is going to be a copy on
the PC.
On PC.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's a Steam code?
Yep, Steam code.
All right.
So watch for that. Obviously, you can follow us on Twitter.
Yep,
at
Bite Me Podcast.
Bite Me Podcast. Same on Facebook. BiteMePodcast.com. You can email us at bitemepodcast.com.
And that's bite with a Y.
Bite with a Y.
Bite us?
No, just Bite Me. Oh, Bite Us does work, I believe, too. So, but
There's
thank you
that.
for confusing things, Dylan.
I'm confusing myself is confused. That's why I'm asking.
And you can find us still on YouTube at youtube.com/.
Yes, but we're
getting closer.
We're real close. We're only 40 subscribers away, I think, from having a named YouTube channel. So
Please subscribe to that thing.
it would make me very
It's
happy.
really difficult to type in those letters.
Right,
every
and we
time.
are actually coming up on our 100th video posted. So I would assume we'll hit that probably middle of next week would be my
All
guess.
right.
So it's good stuff.
We'll have a cake.
We have 2
I want
cakes
some
now.
cake.
Right, I love cake. We were supposed to have cake for our 200th Twitter follower,
Yeah,
and that
we're
was
supposed
like
to have pie on Pie Day.
that was
and
like
we're-
65 followers ago. So we need 2 cakes now.
Okay. I'm
Excellent.
good with that. One for me, one for you two.
Perfect. Anyway, have a
I
lovely
need a lot
week.
of cake.
Yeah, I believe it.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.